Hey everyone, this is Taylor with Front Range Christian Church, and today we're going to be looking at the lead guitar parts for Forever Rain by Hillsong. This song is in the key of C. You might end up playing it in the key of B or B flat at Front Range, and so if you do, if you're in B, move everything down 1 fret, and if you're in B flat, move it down 2 frets. It's at 85 BPM, and I have a dotted 8th delay on my guitar. It sounds like this. You want it fairly pronounced so that when you're playing lead lines, you can really hear it, like this. Really want to be able to hear that delay. I've got a little reverb on it. It sounds really good on the low parts of the song. I'd be careful on the big parts though. If you've got reverb, you might either turn it down or just turn it off completely. It'll be easy to get lost in the mix if you've got too much reverb on this song, because we're playing a lot of single note lines that just aren't very thick. And so with that, let's move into the intro. The intro of this song, on the Hillsong recording, I believe it's actually played with a keyboard, but we usually end up playing it on guitar at Front Range. One thing to do tone-wise is to not be too bright or have too much bite on your guitar when you're playing it. So what I do is I roll off my tone, which is a switch for me. You might have a knob on a Strat or a Tele or a Gibson style guitar. You might just roll it off to 8, maybe 7, just to take a little bit of the bite off of it, because you don't want it to be too pronounced. You want it to be just under the mix. This is a subtle intro coming in with the piano, so you don't want to come in too strong here. But the intro is going to sound like this. And so what we're doing is we're starting on the 7th fret of the 3rd string on a D, sliding up to the 9th fret, which is an E, then going down to the 9th fret of the 4th string to the B, to the 10th fret, which is a C. So you might end up playing this 2 times or 4 times, depending on what we're doing that weekend. I'll play it twice again just so you can hear and make sure you know what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. After the intro, we're going to go into the verse. And for verse 1, there's really not much to do on electric guitar. If you want to, you can hang around some chord shapes and just kind of pick lightly or swell with them. The chord shapes I would use are a C major, which starts with a C on the 10th fret of the 4th string. And you go to an E on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, and a G on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. That's your C major. And then there's a G, or I guess a G over B, or B over G, however you want to say that, which is a B on the 9th fret of the 4th string, D on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and a G on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And so for verse 1, you can bounce back and forth between those and just pick them lightly like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that on verse 1. You don't have to. You can swell with it and do whatever. Just play it by ear depending on what the rest of the band is doing. But after verse 1, we're going to go back into the intro, just like the first intro we did, except for we're only going to do it 1 time. So it'll sound like this. And from there, we're going to go into verse 2. For verse 2, you're going to play this part. And you'll play that twice. So that is starting on a C on the 1st string, 8th fret, then go into a G on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, to a B on the 1st string, 7th fret, back to that G again on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And you'll play that twice, and then after that you're going to go to a C chord which is the 5th fret of the 3rd string and the 8th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings. And you'll just hit that and then pick it the first 2 strings, building into the first chorus. And so what I'll do here is I'll play through the first verse, through the intro, into the second verse, into the chorus, so you can hear how it all goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there, you're going to go into the first chorus, and that is a down chorus, so we don't have anything to play as a lead guitarist. You can do swells if you think you need to, but don't feel like you have to. Coming out of that chorus, we're going to hang on an F, which we're going to hit an F chord down here, 5th fret of the 3rd string, 6th fret of the 1st string, or I'm sorry, 6th fret of the 2nd string, and then the 5th fret of the 1st string. So that gives us a C, an F, and an A, which is your F major chord. And so what I do is I hit it, and then similarly to how we went into the chorus, we'll just pick these first 2 strings into the 3rd verse. And for the 3rd verse, this is what the part is going to sound like. That's the first time through, and the second time through we'll just play that and kind of double those parts. You'll see what I mean in a second, but I'll go ahead and show you how to play that. So it starts on the 5th fret of the 3rd string with a C, then going down to the 5th fret of the 4th string, which is a G, to the 8th fret of the 2nd string, which is a G. Then you're going to go down to the 4th fret of the 3rd string, which is a B, to the 5th fret of the 4th string, then to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And so that's how you're going to play it the first time through. The second time through, with the same notes, you'll just play each part twice. So the second time it'll sound like this. Then we hit that C again, just like at the end of verse 2 into the chorus, and hang on it. But I'll go ahead and play verse 3 all the way through so you can hear what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there, we're going into a big chorus on chorus 2. For chorus 2, we're going to get into the main lead line that we play on the choruses. And so it's going to start out on the 1st and 2nd strings, and it'll go like this. So what I'm doing there is starting on the 8th fret of the 1st string and the 8th fret of the 2nd string and bouncing back and forth between them. Hit them each 3 times. Then we're bouncing up to the 12th fret of the first string and going from the E there on the 12th fret to the D on the 10th fret. Then back to our 8th fret on both strings and doing the same thing again. Then back down again, except for this time now, instead of going up to the 12th fret, we're going to stay on the 8th fret and we're going to come back to the 7th fret for that B on the changes. So that'll sound like this. And that is the chorus. Out of chorus 2, we're going to hang on an F, the one I've already showed you. And picking those into the bridge. And on the bridge, I like to end actually on this C up here into the 1 of the bridge. You can hit the A minor if you want, whatever you think sounds best. But on the first 2 times through the bridge, we're going to hit that first chord and then lay out for the first 2 times. And then on the third part, or the third time we come into the bridge is when the electric guitar is going to come in. It's when the band starts building a little bit. And this is what it's going to sound like when we play the bridge. So on the bridge, we're starting out on that A minor. And so the first time that we come in, which is actually the third time we do the bridge, we're going to hit that A minor, which is the 5th fret on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. We're just going to hit it and let it wash together. Then on the chord change, we're going to hammer on the 2nd string, 5th fret to the 6th fret from the E to the F. Hit the A on the 5th fret of the 1st string. Then we're going to walk down from the F to the E to the C. So it's on, we're on the 6th fret of the 2nd string, down to the 5th fret, to the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And then we're going to slide up from the 5th fret of the 3rd string to the 7th fret and hit the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So that's the first time through. That we play, third time, it's the 3rd bridge. And then on the 4th bridge, it's the same really melody kind of line we're playing there, but we're just going to pick it more. And so instead of hitting that A minor and letting it wash, we start picking it. Hammer it on. And after that, we're going to come down and hang on the F again into the last chorus. So I'll play the bridge for you one more time so you can hear what it sounds like. This is the first time we play, but it's the 3rd bridge. After that bridge, we're going to hit the C into the last chorus, or I shouldn't say the last chorus, into the last set of choruses. And the first half of that chorus is going to be a down chorus. We don't come in until the second half of it, but at the second half of the chorus, we come in with the same part we played earlier. And just remember that you're on the second half, not the first half. And so that part is this one. Straight into another chorus where we play the whole chorus through, just like the one we did earlier, the last full chorus we did. And then coming out of the song, we're going to hang on an F, just like we have been out of all of the choruses, for 4 bars, and then we're out.